Hello, Capricorn. Welcome to your mid-month 2024 November reading. Thank you so much for being here. My name is Ellena. So let's get started and let's see what the angels have to say for the rest of your month. So for Capricorn, angels of love and light, is there a message you would like for me to share with the Capricorn collective? Thank you and amen. So it is. Oh, goodness. 2 seconds here. Oh my gosh. Okay. All right. So the first card that wants to come up is Healer. The second card that wants to come up is Movement. Third card is Passion. Interesting. So the first card says, seek out like-minded spiritual healers and teachers, connect to sound and crystal healing modalities, enhance psychic abilities. Interesting. The second card says Movement, time to move on to a new direction, release the old to make way for the new, changes on the horizon. And Passion, stay motivated and passionate about your dreams and goals, spreading love and light, keeping up the good work and do not give up. That's kind of interesting. When I first kind of saw the spread, what I saw essentially is someone who has maybe focused a lot in terms of, I don't know, dealing more of the healing modalities. Maybe you're someone who does a lot of readings. Maybe you do Reiki energy, light language. Maybe you make content in regards to spiritual healing. Maybe you do Akashic record healing. There's a lot of spiritual, energetic things that go with this card. However, I also feel like because this Movement card is right in the center and Passion card is here, it's not as if you're not passionate about doing tarot or doing healing work or all those other things, channeling, etc. It's almost like there's almost a part of you that wants to maybe put that aside and kind of transfer it into maybe a different type of passion, just to kind of try it out. Maybe you want to start, I don't know, making crystal jewelry at home, or starting a business doing that. Or maybe you're interested in maybe baking or making food, or doing certain crafts or something like that. There's a different type of passion I feel that's coming up. And it's not to say that you're no longer doing healing work, doing that. In fact, when you're doing your passions, let's say you're creating food or whatever, you're making food, your energy, let's say you have Reiki hands, your good old energy is going into that food, which can be very healing for people who consume it, right? It's the same thing as when you are writing a story that you want to do. That may be your unique perspective, your unique way of creating this story, and writing it is very healing for people who read it. Even if it's let's say a fantasy book, maybe it's not a self-help book, it's some sort of whimsical, amazing, adventurous book. You know what I'm saying? I feel like there is almost a change in terms of the path that you've been having. Maybe there's a lot of healing work in terms of healing yourself too, and being in that community, which is wonderful, but it's almost like you're trying to kind of move out of that to try something else, yet it is still healing in a different way. Does that make sense? I also think, when I look at this reading, it makes me think about the times where sometimes, when you're channeling a lot of high vibration spiritual energy stuff, it's wonderful. It's wonderful to be on the leading edge in terms of those downloads and that awareness. However, we are physical beings on this planet, and a lot of people are not at that quote unquote frequency, right? Not on that level. Not saying it's above other people. It's not. It's just a different frequency to which a mass majority of the people on this planet are not really operating at. So it's almost as if you're kind of moving back closer to people in that way, a different community. Maybe your abilities that you've learned here in terms of healing yourself and the lessons you've learned, you're now able to implement it and kind of assist people in a bigger way, more people who, because you're grounding your wisdom into a more 3D type of way, if that makes any sense, which is quite exciting, right? It's almost like you're getting back into a space where you get to meet more different people, which is exciting. So let's take that one. This one wants to come out. I have that song in my head right now by Alicia Keys, That Girl Is on Fire. That girl is on fire. You know that song? Yeah, there's a passion that's being ignited in you right now. And I feel like you feel it. It's almost like you need an outlet for that. And focusing on just kind of just that energy healing work or more mental healing is not satisfying you. Like it's almost like there's something else that you need to do. Interesting. So the first card says peace. It says resolution to a conflict, finding an alternative route, focus on peace. Interesting. Shield yourself now. This is my Archangel Michael card. So it shows that you are very protected at this time, or it can also mean that your energy is shifting. So you have to make sure that you're taking the time to reinforce your aura and to cut cords that are not your energy, remove energies that are not yours. The third is angelic guidance. Wow. Pay close attention to any possible messages or signs from spirit at this time. A guardian angel is watching over you. Advice from someone wise. This is reinforcing you are incredibly divinely protected. There are, spiritual beings that are helping you at this time as you're navigating this. What's interesting here, when I say the peace card, resolution to a conflict, finding an alternative route, focus on peace. Sometimes, I don't know, I'm just going to throw this out here. Sometimes when let's say a lot of healers have gone through a lot of traumatic experiences. They have probably had to go through really tough, challenging times in their lives. And I feel like sometimes we can get lost in that. We can get lost in the cycle of always thinking that there's something that needs to be fixed within us because, many times when we experience trauma growing up, let's say, we're not able to really change our environment. Let's say we grew up in a family household where we can't really change our environment. So we do the most logical thing that we can do is to control the situation by controlling ourselves or thinking that we need to heal ourselves in order to shift the environment or fix something about ourselves because other people around us are not doing that inner work. And I feel like sometimes when we get into that pattern over time, because it's reinforced in childhood as if we need to fix something within ourselves, we kind of get lost in that cycle of always feeling like we must transmute something, we must heal something, we must do something, where it's a lot of internal work when really spirit is saying like, you've already done the work. You've already done what you needed to do. Perhaps this environment or, that you are in right now or around certain people, nothing is really changing. So, and you've been kind of working on yourself in terms of like, maybe I need to figure something out. Maybe there's something about me that's attracting this type of reality. And, and sometimes we get lost in that. And spirit is saying that maybe you've done all that you can. And maybe the work wasn't even for you. The work is not even for you to do. Maybe it's the work that people are supposed to do who refuse to do it. And spirit is saying that you deserve peace. You deserve to be in an environment where you're not constantly feeling as if you have to fix things, because maybe the people around you have to fix themselves. They have to address their own shadows. And Spirit is almost like protecting you and moving you away from that. Okay, so because I am a firm believer that sometimes, you know, as healers are, they have a certain energy to them that is very beneficial and like on so many levels, and they don't even realize it. And sometimes I truly believe healers are placed in spaces where there's a lot of chaos or a lot of disruption to kind of bring balance into a space. And maybe perhaps the contract that you have in that environment, that job, that space, that partnership, etc., that friendship, it's complete. You've done your part. Their free will is choosing not to shift or change, and you deserve peace. So Spirit is moving you away. I hope that makes sense. And this also talks about how as you're moving away and focusing on what it is that you want to do, Spirit is right there with you. They are here to guide you. If you ask for signs, they can help you figure out the hows of doing it, as long as you trust your intuition and move accordingly and know that you are divinely protected as you embark on this new journey. When I see this as well, I feel like this is no longer about you focusing your energy on other people to heal. It's almost like now you're going to focus on yourself and what you want and what makes you happy. It is your time to now take that energy back into yourself and nourish yourself and feed your soul and feed your passion. And this is kind of what I'm picking up for your reading for the rest of November. Again, you know, I say it's like the rest of November, but this can trickle on to December. And also, if you come across this video at a different time, this message could be for you because it is a time that you see it as well. So keep an open mind with that as well. So what else? Oh my gosh, did you see that? Did you see that? Wow. Coyote, revealer of truth. Didn't I talk about this? Like, there's something about your energy that is revealing the truth towards around people who may not want to see the truth. Maybe there's some healing that they need to do that they don't want to address, and that is why Spirit is removing you from those spaces, because you're not meant to be in spaces where people are constantly triggered by your light. That's not fair to you. Like, you deserve to be at peace and in peaceful environments, you know? So it says, Coyote, revealer of truth, don't take things too seriously. Make time to play. Great wisdom comes from laughing at your own folly. Look out for the traps and tricks of life and learn from them. So this is kind of interesting to me, Coyote. Don't take things too seriously. I think like what that also means is that when you embark on your new journey here, like, learn to know that it's not gonna be perfect from the get-go. Like, you have to be nimble in terms of like being able to adapt to situations, like, and to have fun with it. To not be like, I need to make this plan, I need to hit these goals and all this. Those goals will come naturally. I feel like Spirit really wants you to focus on the present moment and be like, oh, I feel intuitively drawn to do this right now. I want to start this project right now. It makes me feel happy when I do this right now. And I think as you slowly move into that direction, I feel like that vibration will continuously get louder and louder, and you'll feel more confident as you're stepping into that, and it naturally builds, right? Like, for instance, let's say you're like working out or whatever. You can't just work out like an hour a day every day from the get-go. It's like you can build it up. You can be like, okay, 20 minutes this day, take a break the next day, 20 minutes the next day. You know what I'm saying? And it naturally, over time, you're still moving towards your goal and it's not burning you out. That's kind of what I'm picking up with that. I do like the revealer of truth, though. I gotta be honest. That tells me that there's some people around you that just don't like it when you call out their projections, or maybe your light illuminates certain shadows within them that they just don't want to face. And again, that's not your responsibility to heal them. It is their responsibility to heal themselves. Because if they don't like the reflection that they see, they can't just get mad at the mirror. They have to figure out who's looking in that mirror, right? Like, so last but not least. Ooh, that's really pretty. Look at that card. Wow. Ascended Master Elmoria and Blue Star Sapphire Higher Will. Number 20. This is kind of like that card is beautiful. Like, first and foremost, like, look how illuminating that is. That's like a star. You know what I'm saying? Blue Star Sapphire. Yeah, like, literally. I feel like there's like a spotlight that's going to be on you. Like, I feel like people are going to be drawn to you. They're going to be focused on you. There's something about you that is very shiny at this time, you know? And it's higher will is like, there's divine intervention happening here. Higher will can also mean that there's a soul contract that you're here to fulfill, which is like what you're supposed to be doing. And Ascended Master Elmoria is a very healthy divine masculine energy, which is really about leadership, generosity, and making goals and plans, but not being so adamant about them, but like moving towards them, right? Like, it's grounding and becoming more practical in this world, right? I find always with like the divine feminine energy can be more like the unseen world, the, you know, Akashic records, or like spiritual world, where like divine masculine is more like earthly concepts, more grounded in nature. So more making impact in your community, in a different grounded community. So this is such a beautiful card spread. It just tells me that you are moving into a space where your gifts are now going to be manifesting in a way where it helps more people. It's more accessible to more people on this planet, rather than a select few that are just on the edge of, you know, doing spiritual stuff, but more like human. You know, like, not just, and obviously, like, healers are human, obviously. But let's say you're constantly channeling star seeds, right? Which is great, but that's not going to really relate to a lot of people on this planet, because a lot of people don't even know what a star seed is. You know what I'm saying? So, anyways, this is such a beautiful reading. I'm really excited for you. I can see this change happening for you probably within the next month or so. Again, thank you so much for tuning in. If this reading resonates with you, feel free to like, subscribe, and share, and feel free to check out your rising and moon signs as well. And I hope the rest of the month treats you well. And again, thank you for tuning in, and I'll talk to you later. Okay, bye.